Unless you've been living under a rock, you know who Andrew Tate is. He's been blowing up on TikTok, YouTube. He has an army of individuals making content for him. Basically a pyramid scheme of getting his little minions to post for him. But that being said, I'm going to get into why Andrew Tate is a genius. Or is he? So Andrew Tate, he has a nice physique. He can fight. He's strong. He's tall. All that good stuff. Then when it comes to his relationships, he believes in having a lot of women. He believes that if you're a successful individual, you as a man are entitled to have a lot of women because you want to spread your seed. I'm going to get into that. Make sure you watch till the end of the video why that is wrong. And God even talks about how it's wrong. And I'm going to talk about why Solomon had 1,000 wives. Did God actually permit him doing that? And I know Andrew Tate is a Christian, so this is probably one of his go-to when people ask him, why do you have so many wives? Oh, because Solomon had 1,000 and he was a king, he was one of the richest. But I have a different take on that. Then when it comes to his wealth, he makes money of beta guys who are simping over cam girls. Do you think that's moral? I'm going to get into why all of this is wrong. And let's get into it. So why Andrew Tate is a genius, or is he actually? So the 3 pillars of masculinity is wealth, health, and relationships. Health, you have a peak metabolic state. You have high natural testosterone levels. You have an androgen dense physique, which women are biologically attracted to. And when regards to relationships, you have right people around you. One thing I can say about Andrew Tate, he's right in regards to the way he has a brother. That's amazing to see how he has an amazing relationship with his brother and they're working together to create a kingdom. And he's right in saying how Muslim individuals, their families, they work together and they can have expensive cars because they share their income, so on and so forth. I agree with him. There's a lot of things I agree when it comes to him because he is successful. You can't have so much success and not have something right. But beware of false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they're ravening wolves. If you see an apple tree, is it going to give you figs? So pay attention to that. Then when it comes to wealth, like I mentioned, you have an amazing business you're working towards, you have relationships, you have a wife, so on and so forth. But let's analyze sin. For me, recently becoming a Christian and reading the Bible and studying it, just like it says in 2 Timothy 2:15, show thyself approved unto God by studying and dividing the Bible properly. I paraphrased it, but that's what it means. So you need to study the Bible. And when I started studying and having a look at the world that we are living today, a lot of the things that are happening are in the Bible. And God knew. And God knows. So sin is an action or a type of behavior which is believed to break the laws of God. But some individuals like Andrew Tate, he knows these things. He's a Christian. He recently actually came to God because he came to the conclusion just like I did. He had a look at the world and he was like, men are becoming weak. Satan is trying to blur the lines between men and women. He's trying to make men and women be the same. If you look back in the days, into demons, so on and so forth, they were always they, them. When you look at the story of Jesus Christ, when he casted out a demon out of an individual, the demon said, Jesus said, what's your name? And who are you? We are legion, as we are many. Just like we see today, they like to be called they, them, because there's many in them. But that's a different topic for another day. So the 7 deadly sins include lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, envy, and pride. Which if you know these things, and you know how to create your business around it and manipulate people in these things, because these are the faults of the human heart. And how does Andrew Tate make his money? He has a casino. He takes advantage of greedy people. He he knows people are lustful, so he creates cam girls and gets men to simp over him, over the girls. So there's two types of people. I know all these things. I can easily create businesses around these things and make a lot of money because I can take advantage of people's faults. But I decided not to because it is wrong. It is not righteous. I cannot fall asleep doing these things. But then you have people like him and other people that take advantage of these things. But yet he talks about he doesn't feel bad about these things and how they're men just like him and they should know what to do. He shouldn't be the one telling them not to spend their money like them. He is right to an extent. But you still shouldn't take advantage of it. Why do you take advantage of it? So Andrew Tate knows that men struggle with these things and he clearly takes advantage of it. But I do watch some of his videos and there is a good side to him. He can be humble. He could be so much more prideful, arrogant. There's a reason why a lot of people watch him, because he's likable. He's interesting. He's doing his thing. But it's going to leave him astray. And I'm going to get into that even more. So let's analyze Andrew Tate's 3 pillars. So health. Recently I seen him make a video about the carnivore diet. The carnivore diet is structured basic ketosis to an extent. The one he was talking about was more ketosis. So he was just consuming meat. And ketosis is basically when you're not consuming any carbohydrates, high amounts of protein, and low amounts of protein, high fat, no carbs, to get him into a state of ketosis. So your body is burning ketones for fuel rather than carbohydrates as glucose. But the problem with the ketosis state, there's this very small margin of error. If he consumes too much protein, which he does because he says he consumes steaks all day, that protein is going to get converted into glucose through a process called gluconeogenesis. So that protein that he's consuming is going to kick him out of ketosis. So it's going to mess with his mood swings because he's going to be coming in and out of the ketosis state. And overall, the ketosis diet is not optimal. If you ever tried it before, it's a state of stress. You're very alert, stressed out because you don't have food. So your body's alert to hunt. Hence why when you consume carbohydrates, you feel satisfied. You feel good. Your testosterone's high. Because it's an abundant state. Glucose are an abundant, they're the octane fuel for the body. So Andrew, make sure you take care of your health, because ketosis has been shown to lower testosterone levels and overall mess you up, especially if you're consuming a lot of polyunsaturated fats, which oxidize and cause oxidative stress, and it's going to kill you long term. But look, do your thing. Then when it comes to wealth, he makes his money based on taking advantage of the wrong people, of the vulnerable people, rather than helping them. And then relationships. So he talks about how he's allowed to have many wives or women, so on and so forth. And the point that he made was that, if you're a king or you're doing good, you want to spread your seed. I see his point. I'm aware of his point. But do you honestly think that the reason why men sleep around with a lot of women is because they want to spread their seed and they want to have a lot of kids? No, it's because of lust. They want to sleep with a lot of women because they want to satisfy their lust. They don't want to have a lot of kids. They just want to have a lot of women because they're insecure and they need validation from a lot of girls. And like it says in the Bible, you will leave your parents and join your wife to become one flesh. Adam and Eve. Adam, at the start, his rib was taken from him to create Eve. Just like Jesus Christ, his rib was pierced for his bride. Water and blood came out. For his bride, the bride is the church, the saved ones, the ones that have faith, that believe in what he did. So, Andrew, are you saved? Do you believe in Christ? Are you saved by the blood of Christ? Are you washed with the blood? So why did God allow Solomon to have 1,000 wives? So if you actually closely read the Bible, God condemned him. And Solomon's offsprings were cursed. David then had issues with lust. So that came with a price. And that's going to come with a price with you. Like it says in Matthew 7:24-27, reading the King James Bible, "Therefore whosoever heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the wind blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And every one that heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them not, shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it." Andrew, there's going to be a fall, and you're going to be part of it unless you have a righteous lens. You really need to sit down, go to Robert Breaker, watch his videos. Honestly, that's my advice for you and anybody watching him or idolizing him. That being said, this was Alex, and I'll see you later. Peace.